Hello, Christopher. All right, I got your repost here. Let's go and take a look. So the magazine ad's looking great. Thanks for including that. Um, let's go and jump down to the banner. So you got my comments on this. This is just really, really difficult to read, and this looks so much better, night and day. But then I see you go back to this. Let me see. That's 3:09 p.m. And then this repost here, it looks like was boy. It's hard for me to tell what was placed here in what chronological order. But it looks like based on this presentation, it looks like this was the original. Then you went back, you changed to this, and then you went back to this, which I don't recommend. I think this is much better in terms of the type, without including those text effects. So the one thing I'm seeing is that's problematic is the image itself. And we talk about the rule of thirds as a compositional rule. And rule of thirds is really relevant in many, many ways. Go ahead and research rule of thirds if you're not familiar with it. But anyway, and one of the principles in the rule of thirds is highly applicable to ad design and any kind of composition that has visual imagery. Right now the focal point is dead center in the composition. Note that in the magazine ad, it's not dead center. It pushed over a little bit in the third quadrant. This focal point right here follows the rule of thirds. Okay, so this doesn't because it's dead center. The problem with that is, as we can clearly see, this image has a tendency, through no fault of your own, it's just the way that it's cropped, has a tendency to split the ad right in half, forcing you to place um, the promotion on the right-hand side and the text on the left-hand side. That's problematic. It is, because there's another principle in design called proximity, and that states that things that are alike in a composition should be close together. This is highly associated in its relationship to the subhead and the headline. Therefore, it should be placed closer to the headline and subhead, which is problematic simply because of the image. Okay, so my recommendation is this. If you just change the crop a little bit. Now, understand, I'm not real sure if this is, I think this is your image. I'm not real sure if this is your family, but unfortunately, if we crop this, we might end up having to lose Junior down here in the crop. So if you watch my, you may not, you may be able to keep him to try, but the crop would be something like this. So you want to include, you want to get this family here over to the right-hand side of the composition. We don't even really necessarily need the tree. What we need to do is just, I don't know what kind of room is left over on this side of the image, but if you have any, we're gonna need to use it. If there's not, you're gonna have to change the crop completely. Now watch my cursor. If there's not, the crop would have to be changed to something like this. Okay, that way the focal point is pushed over to the right hand side of the composition, which is going to open up all of this area for your text. So see if you can't crop it like that. And as I said, unfortunately, you may have to end up cropping the young man out of the bottom of the photograph and just doing something like this, which you see that all the time in transition from web banner to sorry, from magazine ad to web banner. So it's really not a major issue as long as the image is recognizable as the same image in the magazine, you're okay. Okay, so think about that. Now the other option is this, is taking this family and masking the family out of this background and placing the family in a different background with a beach, and one that where you'll have enough room to move the family over to the right side so that you can open up some area for typography. Once we get to that point, what I would do is this, is I would say, just to kind of recompose your type a little bit. And somehow get this. I think the headline has too many words. For family memories that will last a lifetime, works great in the magazine ad, of course, because you have that kind of real estate available. But in the web banner, you don't. Let's condense that to something like um, family lifetime memories, or create family lifetime memories, something like that. Um, or lifetime family memories, something like create lifetime family memories, something. So we bring this up to one line here. Okay, then bring the subhead underneath it. Then you can pick up a point for alignment and come over here and take this special offer and go ahead and animate it right here or wherever you can. It might entail having to reduce the size of the logo and maybe even moving the location, which would probably entail changing the color. But that's all good. That's all okay. Then you can just place the masked image as you need. Now, if you do decide to use this and mask this image out, of course, you won't have to include this masked image right here. Okay, so basically that is my recommendation moving forward. If you want to make those changes, and it's going to be great practice too to learn how to crop alternative methods with the intent of using the focal point as a way to assist you in the composition as opposed to impeding expeditious compositional rules. If that makes sense, let me know. If I need to clarify, I'll be glad to. But at any rate, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. But I definitely think those changes are going to make a big difference. So once you do, you might have to change this from, you probably might not even need the word special offer. I mean, remember, every word counts. There's such limited real estate here. You might even just come over here and in one line, or maybe two, depending on how it is, just animate that in up to 50% off a family of 3, or even special offer up to 50%. That's a save up to 50%. So I'm just really trying to condense your words. Okay, so those are my recommendations. If you have any questions at all, or if you want to recompose and resubmit, that's fantastic. I'll go ahead and take another look at it. But again, the most important thing at this point is if you have any questions at all, please let me know. All right, thank you.